Hello, this is Devin Engel, and today we're going to do a quick review of how to use calculated prices, also known as promotional prices, alongside the Shopify connector. In order for this to work, the very first thing you must do is make sure that your Shopify configuration is set to accommodate calculated prices. You can go into your Shopify configuration, unlock it, look at product price. This is the price that the product will actually be sold at on Shopify, and set this to calculated price. You'll most likely want to leave your product compare at price as price 1. This will show what the product would have sold for, and then Shopify will display the actual sale price alongside that so customers can see what kind of discount they're getting. You want to make sure this is saved. From here, we're going to set up a promotion. If you do not yet know how to set up promotional prices, this is not a detailed enough training to cover that. You'll want to get the separate full training on how to set up a promotional price. This is specifically just for setting up a promotional price for Shopify. I'm assuming you already know how to do this. In Counterpoint, there are several ways to set up specialty prices, contract prices, promo prices, these kinds of things. The only one that will send to the Shopify connector, though, is promotional prices. Here you'll want to identify a group code. For today, we'll just keep it simple and call this Shopify. We'll call it the Shopify sale prices. And you want to make sure that this box here for enabled is checked. If this is turned off, then the prices will not sync up to the Shopify connector. And as far as dates go, you can choose a date range. If you'd like it to start and stop on a specific date, if you want it to start in the future, you can do that. And then it will turn on and start sending to Shopify on the day it's set. It will also stop sending on the end date and return to its original pricing. If you just want it to be open-ended, you can just use no begin date, no end date. You'll need to define a rule. We'll just call this, again, the Shopify sale price. There are very specific requirements for setting up this promotional price. Only a very limited number of things can be used and have the price actually go up to Shopify correctly. The first is that we cannot use minimum quantity. Minimum quantity works within Counterpoint because Counterpoint knows what the quantity of the item being sold is. However, it's just pushing a price up to Shopify for a product. It's just a flat price. Shopify doesn't have any information about, if there's 3 being sold or 4 being sold ahead of time. So just leave the minimum quantity at 0. This does not get taken into account by the Shopify connector. The next is that for the method, the only 2 options you can use for the Shopify connector is discount percent or discount amount. The basis, the only option you can use and have this send up is price 1. It must be set to price 1. And then the amount or percent off just has to be greater than 0. In this case, let's do a discount percent of 25% off price 1. On the items tab, here you cannot have all of the in between or any sort of additional subcategory item type, all of that. These filters just do not currently work with our Shopify connector. You'll want to customize this to be a little more simple. And you can set this, imagine that there's a couple of item numbers that you'd like to sync. We're going to need to set all of these to is exactly. And we'll just get rid of these others. You can control delete to get rid of them. I think that's usually the easiest. And of course, we want this set to or. Sorry, that is popping up off screen. So we have item number is exactly, and we're going to use 2 items for these Shopify sale prices. You can go back and simplify that if it makes it a little easier for you to view. You can use the lookup to find your items, or if you know what they are off the top of your head, you can just key them in. In this case, the items have already been pushed up to Shopify, and their standard prices, oops, sorry about that. Uh, Here, the Shopify test item 1, which you can tell is item 111, is set to $10. And Shopify test item 2, I have this one set to $20, and that is SKU 112, which of course is also the counterpoint item number. But we know once we enable this promotional price, they will be displaying on the website with a 25% discount. Okay, so we've talked about the prices tab and the items filter tab, the customers tab. Just similar to that minimum quantity on the prices tab, the connector does not know ahead of time which customer will be purchasing these products, so nothing here applies. Just leave this tab blank. For sales, you can choose to have this apply to all of your stores in Counterpoint. You might have store 101 and you might have store 201 for Shopify. If you're multi-location, you might have additional stores. So you could leave it blank and it would apply to all of them. Or you can specify that you only want it to sync to your Shopify store. And in that case, you can enter that or choose it from the lookup. It just depends on how broad you want the price rules to be, if they're also applying in store or not. So once you have your prices, your items, your customers, and your sales filter, you can click Save. You'll see this populate up here. And again, with the really critical elements here that we have an item number filter set, and it is to is exactly. We don't have any customer filter. We do have a store filter. Again, that one also needs to be is exactly. And we have a no minimum quantity, but with a price reduction of 25% off price 1. Okay, we have the promotional price set up. We know that it will be currently active. It's already enabled. We can close out of this. We're going to visit our connectors, and we're going to run the Shopify connector. Of course, this black box will pop up anytime you manually run the connector. Let this finish. You can also, instead of manually running the connector, just allow it to run. It'll run it in about 15 minutes. The black box disappears when the connector has finished running. You can open our website here. So this is our Shopify test item 2. I'm going to hit refresh on that. And that went from $20 down to $15. And you can see we even have the compare at price right here. On the first product, the original price was $10. We'll refresh that page now that the promotional price is pushed up. And you'll see that has been reduced to $7.50. And we have the compare at price here of $10. If you have any questions about this, we have a much more detailed document. You can submit a support ticket to support@rapidpos.com. We're happy to share that document with you. And if you're ever using this and you have any difficulty with it, or you have any additional questions, or you'd like to inquire about a possible enhancement to this functionality, again, submit a support ticket and we'll be happy to get in touch with you. Thanks.